Today it's 8 more great cheap guitars and 3 to avoid. These are in no particular order apart from the last guitar to avoid is a train wreck. It's terrible, it's the worst one I've tried. And the last one I'm recommending is probably the best one I've ever tried on the channel. So first guitar is a guitar I no longer have. It's the Harley Benton Dual Cut. So it's an SG style thing, fairly basic but very good quality, kind of solid guitar. It cost 255 euros, and here are some clips from that older video where I play a bit on it. Okay, so really SG type stuff. One thing was different though. It was that you could split the coils on the humbuckers, which I like because I like single coils. Second one, another one I don't have anymore, was the Ibanez SA, which cost 359 euros. Very nice guitar. Ibanez comes with very good quality control, so if you do get something by them, chances are that they'll be quite good. that was a real super Strat. Now we come to number 3. Originally I was going to feature this guitar because I really like this. This is the SX Strat, but it's developed a bit of a problem, which we'll get to more in the video later on, because some guitars in this video have this problem. And it's this. Terrible rattle. And it's due to the frets being uneven, so one fret is higher than the other frets next to it. I've used one of these. It's a fret rocker to determine which frets. This actually has 3 different places where a fret is higher up than the rest, and that's a bit of a bummer. And this was bad enough that I didn't feature this guitar, even though I think it's very good, because number 3 is the Harley Benton Fusion HSH Roasted. It's the most expensive guitar in this video. It costs 399 euros, but it's absolutely brilliant. You can split the coils. It comes with great quality parts like a Wilkinson trem. Outstanding stuff. This is how it's in tune now. And this is where we get to the first guitar to avoid. It's not the SX Strat, because I still think that it's good enough that if you fix that problem, it'll actually be a very good guitar. Fixing that problem with the frets being different heights, it costs between 80 and 120 or something like that dollars. So that will bring up the price a bit. And it's hassle you don't really want when you're buying your first guitar, at least. So let's change guitars. This is the Kramer Focus, which costs just 130 euros. And it's just so cheap and uninspiring that I can't recommend this to anyone. It rattles a bit. It had that problem of uneven frets. Not very bad, but still. Actually, this one is playable. And it sounds like this. It was in tune when I bought it. yeah, it just feels so uninspiring. The parts are really cheap things, and I can't recommend this to anyone. Which brings us to guitar number 4. It's the Harley Benton TE62. Now, I reviewed the Harley Benton TE52 as well, and I would not recommend that guitar at all because it was really heavy. But this one is really good. Now, some of you are going to start wondering, is this some kind of Harley Benton commercial? And like I said, I've bought all of these guitars, so no, it's not. It's just that I've happened to review quite a few Harley Bentons fairly recently, and they've all turned out to be really good guitars. Now, I do have links to gear that I recommend in the description, and those are affiliate links, so if you buy that way you will be supporting the channel. But the last guitar in this video, the best one, is one that is not featured there because it's not for sale at Thomann. So yeah, the one I really recommend is one that I won't be making any money off of. That being said, I really like this Harley Benton Tele style guitar so much that I kept this and sold my Fender Player Series Telecaster. This is just great. It costs 159 euros. Parts look good. It's fairly lightweight. Roswell pickups. Might swap out those for something better at a later time. Guitar number 5 is the Schecter C6. It cost 349 euros and was a very good and real solid heavy metal axe. So you tune it down and you play that kind of stuff, or something else, because it'll do other stuff as well. No whammy bar. It was very black. Black like the black ducks of despair. 2 Schecter Diamond Plus pickups, which I really liked. Can't play country. It's the Echo Stratocaster that I reviewed a while back, and it's not very good. It had huge amounts of fret sprout, which is way easier to correct than the unevenness of frets, but it also has that unevenness of frets. Again, buzzy. I forget, it had a few different frets, I think. And was the SX Strat, if you would fix that up, you would have a very good guitar, or a good guitar at least. This one you fixed the fret issue and it still feels terrible and cheap and all that, and the pickup switch was really stiff. I don't know what's up with that. Just not very good. I just don't want to play it anymore. So yeah, this is not brilliant. The next guitar in this video is the Ibanez GRX40. I don't have that one either, but the GRX40 was actually, in my opinion, slightly better than the GRX70, which is a more expensive version. The GRX40 cost 169 euros. Poplar body, maple neck, that kind of thing. Just basically thought it was a very good entry-level Strat. Harley Benton BM75. This is so good that I decided I'm gonna keep this. This is one of the older guitars in the video. I bought this quite a long time ago, at least before the winter, and it survived the whole winter through without developing any issues with frets or anything like that that the other guitars in this room have developed, or well, some of them. And this is a bit of a kind of, if you're a Brian May fan, this is definitely something to check out. And I'm kind of thinking that some people might be put off by the fact that it's a Brian May tribute guitar. It's not a copy of his guitar, it's a tribute guitar. But you shouldn't be, because this is great if you want that Strat style thing and want some other options as well, because you can do some really weird sounds with this. But if you are buying a guitar, here's a recommendation. Keeping in mind the issues that a lot of these guitars that I've mentioned in this video have had, with frets sticking out when the wood dries, stuff happens. If you want to buy a guitar, it's a good option often to check out second-hand guitars, because those have usually had their kind of infancy issues. Just make sure to check everything works and there are no, so you have to try before you buy. That's always what I recommend. And if you can't try before you buy, if you order online, be sure you can send it back. You can still have trouble, but at least you kind of stack the odds in your favor. Anyway, the Harley Benton BM75. It's a really nice guitar, cost 299 euros. I bought this one B stock. I have had no issues with this whatsoever. After initial setup, it's just stayed that way. I almost forgot that. Okay, so maybe not Yngwie Malmsteen tones, but I really like these pickups as well. Yeah, what can I say? Great guitar. Which brings us to the last of the Avoid guitars. Oh dearie me. This is the Zuway... I forget. This has so many issues that I can't even go through all of these. Well, it hasn't had fret sprouts. It has a tiny bit of unevenness on the frets, which is fixable, although it would cost you too much. They say that it comes with a Floyd Rose. This, in case you're unaware, is not a Floyd Rose. And sometimes I would be kind of tempted to give the company the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, they made a mistake or something like that. But if you make guitars, you have to know the difference between a Floyd Rose and whatever this is. It's inexcusable, and I'm kind of tempted to say that it's just a lie. False advertising. But I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure which is worse. They actually just lied, or they don't know what a Floyd Rose is. It had rattle and it's had all kinds of things, and then we come back to the Floyd, quote-unquote Floyd Rose. You have wiring sticking out here like you shouldn't have, and this doesn't return to tune. It returns to one tune when you pull up and another when you push down, and that would indicates either a problem with the nut, which in this case I think it's not a problem with the nut, I think it's a problem with the knife edges here on the two-piece kind of thing that attaches to the pole, that the knife edges aren't sharp, and that's why it returns to different pitches. And that's a bigger problem. And even if you fixed all of the major issues with this, you'd still be left with something... Ugh. Terrible problems, probably the worst guitar I've ever had on this channel. Which brings us nicely to what is probably the best guitar I've had on this channel. It's the EART Stratocaster. I don't know how to say it, but E-A-R-T. And again, this one also had that fret rocking problem thing where the frets are slightly uneven. But it was playable, and the fret work, the fret edges are, it's just stunning. And considering that I had 5 out of 7 budget guitars, other budget guitars here, have that same problem, I'm starting to think it's a fairly common problem. Not something you want to have, but regardless. And when you fixed this one up, it was $269, and after you fix it up, if you add 100, it's $369, so it's still within budget. And I understand if it's a deal breaker for you, but this is really the one that I recommend because it's a brilliant instrument. And like I said, I have affiliate links for other stuff, but not this. And the thing is, when you fix that fret issue, take it to a luthier. I mean, if you buy 10 of these, I don't know how many will have this issue. I have an EART Telecaster over there that doesn't have that issue. But anyway, you're left with a brilliant instrument. It doesn't even need upgrades. Tuners are great. Tremolo system is brilliant. It stays in tune like nobody's business. It sounds like a Strat. Really, just really nice stuff. Absolutely killer, absolutely killer guitar. That's the EART Strat. If you want more alternatives, here's the older video in this series, 8 other great cheap guitars and 3 to avoid. Please check out my Patreon, there's a link in the description. You get access to my music lessons, there's a bunch of exclusives, and you can even take that stuff for free. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Bye!